In the passage from Romans that Margaret read for us just a moment ago, the assigned text for this Sunday after Pentecost, St. Paul remarked that the Lord is generous to all who call upon him. In the summer of 1727, in that little village on the estate of Count Nicholas von Zinzendorf, the Moravians and others who were living there at the time experienced a measure of God's generosity that was beyond their imagination and I'm sure even their understanding. Having lived with this brotherly agreement that they drew up some 3 months before that date, they had earnestly prayed to God to help them with their differences, to help them overcome the things that separated them and threatened their ability to live and profess the love of Christ to the world. On the morning of August 13th, they gathered in that small parish church in Berthelsdorf to celebrate around the table of the Lord's Supper. And during that service, the generosity of God and the love and the unity that came to them through the Spirit of God was so profound and so lasting with that little community that we call that day the birthday of the renewed Moravian Church. That day when our ancestors so powerfully felt God's call and God's love, which enabled them to serve the entire world. The hymn writer James Montgomery recalled that morning and wrote these words, "Then forth they went with tongues of flame, in one blessed theme delighting, the love of Jesus and his name, God's children, all uniting." Brothers and sisters, we come to gather around this table today. I don't think there is any prayer of any church that is more profound and more needed than to ask for God's blessing of unity and love that would empower our message of Christ to the world. Indeed, that is our prayer in these moments of worship. In the Moravian Church, we practice an open communion, and all who profess Christ as Lord are invited to partake of the elements. The ministers will bring the elements to you, and after all have been served, we shall partake together. We're using the service